Hey friends, it's Aki Dearest. So many of you may have heard a few days ago, RM of BTS made an appearance at the United Nations and gave a speech.
No matter who you are, where you're from, your skin color, your gender identity, just speak yourself.
It was a wonderful speech about loving yourself and loving one another regardless of race, gender, or sexual orientation, encouraging not just the youth but everyone to just speak their minds, do the things they want to do, share their ideas and creativity. He talks about the success that he has generated from BTS, but however at the very end of it, he is still just a normal 24-year-old guy who is still making mistakes every day and learning from them. Now, one of the controversies that came out of this was that after RM was done with his speech, on came with the YouTuber Superwoman.
We have to start with young people and acknowledge the huge impact they have in their communities. Everything can change when just one person gives you a chance.
And as she was thanking RM for his speech, she also left off with this statement.
Shout out to BTS, who millions of girls at home right now are crying.
And of course, this was very polarizing on the internet, with not only BTS fans, but also people who just overlooked it. Coming from someone who's not really invested into BTS, but does have a huge appreciation for them and the success that they've generated and does like quite a few of their songs. I personally don't think that she meant to disrespect or belittle BTS. I mean, it was more like, if anything, making a bad joke at the wrong time. But when I first saw that, I didn't really overthink anything of it. I thought that maybe she was just trying to make a joke, but I just didn't laugh. If I were in RM's position and I had just made my speech, my mind would have probably still been racking in with nerves of whether or not I made a good speech, rather than listening to maybe what she had to say about the whole fangirl thing. I'm sure that's something that he has heard before, and I don't think that they probably thought anything of it until the backlash came later on Twitter. But not much context is to be taken from what she's saying. Now, if at all I made any sort of speech to the caliber that RM made, and then someone right after me said something like, "Thanks, Aki, for that amazing speech. I'm sure that there's a lot of Fujoshi screaming right now, but you did great," I personally wouldn't have felt much about it. It's something that I've heard 1,000 times, and BTS probably just swept this under the rug. But you know what? I'm not really surprised at the backlash that this got, because at the end of it, it is like going to an interview with your boss, and then you try to crack a joke about the company, and it's sort of playing with fire. So it was basically just wrong audience at the wrong time. For all we know though, maybe she was also really nervous and she could have been fangirling with BTS sitting right in front of her. On the other side, who says that she shouldn't have done this at all and that it was belittling BTS and that it was disrespecting RM's speech. Sure, I think that it probably would have been best to had left it out, but if we could go back in time and if I cared enough about what she said that much, the delivery could have been a little bit better. And that if anyone's gonna tease at the United Nations about BTS having a lot of fangirls, it probably should have been BTS to tease themselves about it. It's like Emma Watson's speech at the United Nations where she was talking about the equality of men and women, and towards the end she even made a joke of her self-awareness that everyone's probably thinking,
"You might be thinking, who is this Harry Potter girl? And what is she doing speaking at the UN?" And it's a really good question.
Just saying, if RM at all ended his speech in a similar way like that, I think that the backlash would have deteriorated by a lot and everyone would have just laughed it off together. But if there was anyone else doing that in front of the United Nations, I mean, it's not really surprising that the army would come after you. Even after the speech done at the United Nations, Superwoman even went on to go tweet out a picture that she took with BTS. So I'm sure she has a lot of respect for them. It was just slip of the tongue. And ending it off with BTS here, I think for RM, especially as an idol who has been brought out to be someone that lives in glamour and good looks, as I said in my last BTS video, he wants people to understand that being a celebrity doesn't make you any less prone to mistakes as the next person. If anything, being a celebrity makes you more prone to mistakes. But as with any normal human being in the world, you learn from those mistakes, you move on, and learn to be better. And in the case with Superwoman, I think that we can all just forgive her for this and just move on with our lives. So congratulations to BTS and Superwoman for your appearances at the UN. So let me know in the comment section down below, how did these speeches impact you? So I appreciate you guys for watching, and subscribe to my channel for more anime and otaku related content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!